From Paulie. Espresso machine. $2,000. What is wrong with that man?
Never mistake Paulie Walnuts for a great mobster. He was half a wise guy with nothing to show for it. Paulie Gualtieri, better known as Paulie Walnuts, is perhaps the most bizarre figure in the Sopranos universe.
Come on, hey. Johnny talked to you about me, right?
Johnny who? Sack? Talk to me about what?
He is simultaneously indispensable and ridiculous, ruthless and childish, a sycophant who survives purely by clinging to others' power. To call him a paradox would be too flattering. He is more accurately a walking contradiction.
You had to hear him on the phone before, talking to me like a child.
A man who spent his entire life in service of this thing of ours, and wound up with little more than a pinky ring and a chipped espresso machine to show for it. The central question is whether Paulie ever realizes that Tony Soprano despises him.
We've been friends a long time, Paulie.
The evidence suggests he knows Tony doesn't trust him. He is too long in the game not to. But true self-awareness was never Paulie's strong suit.
Nice, D. This means everything.
His entire relationship with Tony is defined by two things: fear and misplaced reverence. He fawns over Tony not simply out of respect for the office of boss, but because Tony is the son of Johnny Boy Soprano, the man Paulie idolized.
I thought I made myself clear.
For someone with no wife, no children, no true friends, and no personal accomplishments outside of the mob, attaching himself to Tony is both a survival strategy and a desperate bid for meaning. Paulie is not a Feech Lamanna or a Richie Aprile, old-school tough guys who return from prison with a chip on their shoulders and an insistence on respect.
I came to ask for my game back.
It's my uncle's game now, Feech.
Feech bristles under Tony's authority. Richie seethes with resentment. Paulie, on the other hand, bows. He may resent Tony in fleeting moments, but ultimately he recognizes that survival requires submission. He cannot afford to be the defiant veteran. He is too insecure, too dependent on the structure the mob provides. His sycophancy is almost cartoonish.
A boring 747.
Consider the scene where Tony makes the Boeing joke. Paulie laughs so loudly and insistently, nudging others to join in, that his desperation for approval is palpable.
From Paulie. That chrome espresso machine. This is like $2,000. What is wrong with that man?
Or the moment after his dream sequence, when he wakes up rattled, lifts weights like a man possessed, and promptly gifts Tony and Carmela a $2,000 espresso machine. This is not affection. It is appeasement. It is the behavior of someone who knows the boss is dangerous and is willing to overcompensate in every direction just to stave off suspicion.
Why don't you take it easy?
Had to be. Paulie told Johnny.
Tony, of course, sees through it. He knows Paulie is selfish, conniving, and at times reckless, ratting to Johnny Sack, gossiping behind his back, nearly causing his own death on the boat ride in Florida.
What the fuck you do it for? Don't bullshit me, Paulie.
Tony despises Paulie not simply for being annoying, but because he embodies everything Tony hates about the old guard. Shallow, sentimental reverence without substance, brutality without strategy, superstition without faith. Paulie is a man frozen in adolescence, eternally the soldier who never matured beyond do what you're told, when you're told. Yet Tony never kills him. Why? Because Paulie is useful in the most basic sense. He is a loyal dog. He may whine, he may bite, but he always returns to heel. In Tony's world, that predictability is a kind of reliability. Even in the series finale, Tony all but offers Paulie a seat at the leadership table, not out of respect, but because Paulie can be trusted to do nothing beyond following orders. He is too dim, too cautious, and too self-interested to pose a genuine threat. What makes Paulie fascinating is not his competence, he has none, but his sheer longevity. He survives decades in the mob without major accomplishments, without building a family, without accumulating the trappings of power. He has no fancy house in West Caldwell, no wife to parade at social functions, no children to boast about. His crew is glorified at best, a collection of mediocrities propped up by intimidation and violence.
You're here to rob me.
He suffocates old women to cover debts, hurls bricks at waiters' heads, threatens 6-foot Russians as if he weren't pushing 60 himself. And yet, despite constant blunders and betrayals, Paulie outlasts far more capable men.
There's a skip. Hey.
His secret weapon is not strength or cunning, but sycophancy. If anything, Paulie is the perfect illustration of how the mob, stripped of its mythology, looks pathetic up close.
Keep out of it. I'll put one in your head.
He is a thug with no arc. Unlike Christopher, who dreams of escape through Hollywood,
Bobby said something about this.
or Bobby, who grows into reluctant leadership, Paulie remains static. He begins the show as a petty, violent, superstitious child and ends it the same way. Even Noah Tenenbaum, the college boyfriend maligned as the charcoal briquette, has more of an arc than Paulie. That says everything. Occasionally, the show dangles the illusion of growth.
Every friendship has its peaks and valleys.
Paulie has peaks and valleys, as he himself says, moments where his competence almost shines through. Tony even relies on him to clean up Christopher's messes, trusting him to supervise when younger men fail. But these flashes are anomalies.
That's not bad.
By the final seasons, Paulie is reduced to caricature, a Beavis and Butthead figure pointing at the television and laughing at his own recycled jokes. His quirks, his tic, his superstitions, his paranoia swallow any remaining nuance. His failures extend beyond competence. Paulie lacks even the ability to forge genuine human connection. Nobody attends his mother's funeral because she dies at the same time as a more respected capo's wife. His delusion that New York dignitaries might care who he is met with blank stares. Carmine doesn't acknowledge him, not out of intimidation, but sheer indifference.
Paulie doesn't have shit as usual.
Paulie is not feared, respected, or loved. He is tolerated, and yet he clings to life.
With due respect, I'd like to just mull it.
Unlike Richie, Ralphie, or even Silvio, Paulie never makes the fatal mistake of believing he deserves more. He doesn't want greater power, doesn't aspire to leadership, doesn't push beyond his lane.
Fucking thing is one big ATM machine.
He accepts scraps because scraps are safer. This lack of ambition, masquerading as loyalty, is what saves him.
There hasn't been a war since the Colombo thing.
He survives the Colombo Wars, survives Tony's paranoia, survives the implosion of Jersey's crime family.
Gives me the fucking creeps.
In the end, Paulie is the last man standing not because he is strong, but because nobody considered him worth killing. What makes Paulie truly tragic is that his reverence for Tony is hollow. It is not love, nor admiration, nor even respect. It is fear and dependency. Tony represents structure, the paternal authority figure Paulie never had.
I want you to skip it that thing.
Without Tony, Paulie is nothing, and he knows it. He fills the void with superstition, violence, and delusion, convincing himself that his life of service is honorable rather than pathetic.
Chrissy's head is bleeding and I'm freezing at that. That's what's fucking not.
Paulie Walnuts is not a great gangster. He is not even a competent one. He is a relic, a sycophant, a perpetual child clinging to the leg of whatever father figure the mob provides. He is simultaneously hilarious and horrifying, an unglamorous reminder of what this life truly produces. Not kings, not legends, but petty men, wasting their lives on an institution long past its prime.
Jesus Christ, fucking Paulie Gautieri. Isn't he dead yet?
In the end, Paulie is not feared, not respected, and not mourned. He is, at best, pitied. And that is his true legacy. Half a wise guy, with nothing to show for it but his pinky ring, and the dubious honor of being the last cockroach scurrying after the lights come on. Don't be like Paulie. Leave something behind. Subscribe.